My comic book pull list situation has been going well. It's been a month now. I figured it out. I've got 4 titles on my list. I'm spending about $25 a month on comics, which is less than I thought it was gonna be. Don't get it twisted. I do know that over time I will buy random things here and there that I wouldn't have otherwise bought if I weren't frequently going into the shop. But if I'm sticking with my basics and sticking with what I'm actively reading, less than $30 a month really doesn't seem that bad. 4 titles. I don't know how people are out here with double-digit titles every week. I just can't imagine keeping track of that much stuff. But it's safe to say I'm sufficiently in this now. So let's start reading. I am going to keep this spoiler-free because I don't want to ruin a really tiny book for anyone. That would be so rude. We are going to read The Seasons, issue number 4. I am thinking this is where we're really gonna start to go on the journey here. This cover is crazy. It stands out a lot more than the other ones, and I think that maybe that's telling, buckle up, we're starting here. So we've got 4 issues of the Ultimate Spider-Man to read to be caught up. And then I had been collecting Bug Wars, but I'm kicking myself because I was on vacation and I was looking for issue number 1 because I hadn't picked it up, and they had it, but it was this really weird thick version and I just didn't like it, so I didn't grab it, and I was like, oh, my local shop will have it at home. They didn't. So at that point in time, I grabbed number 2. I put it on my pull list. Since then, I've picked up number 3, and I had been waiting for my local shop to order me in a second printing of issue 1, which I don't like this green cover. Because this cover is green, but the original volume 1, it's red, and that's what I wanted. I wanted the variety, but this one at least is the right texture to me. I am super, super excited to really just dive into Bug Wars with the first half of the series, because I hear this is only gonna be 6 books. So let's find a cozy spot to get reading. I really was spoiled in the last comic book vlog when I picked this up and I got to read the first 3, which is what's gonna happen with Bug Wars, so it's okay. But this is just truly my first taste of, you gotta wait a month. I just cannot get over the art in this book. This interior right here is a really good example of how dark and how light it can be, yet it all still works really well. And I just think that if you can do this and you can be flipping through this completely seamlessly, some sort of magic is happening. This is just so cool. I feel like there's a secret formula happening for the text, because it is just placed in a way where you want to fly through and you're like, no, I have to keep reading. I have to keep reading the art too. This issue, number 4, had a lot to do with summer, and I foresee we're just getting closer and closer to learning a little bit more about autumn. But I'm still really obsessed with Spring as our main character. She has a pet goldfish that she is often voicing her thoughts to, it seems, as a vehicle to give us the update on where we're at and what's going on. And I think that there's just so much like that about this series that is super clever. I think I could get so many people to start reading comic books if I just set issue number 1 of The Seasons down in front of them. So I think that's really cool too, that it feels so intimate, yet also anyone could jump in. And I think that that is really special. So let's package this bad boy back up and let's dive into Spider-Man. As I said, I've got 4 issues here, which I really don't know how long this will take me to read, so that's something I'm interested in taking note of. But as you can see, this is where Craven enters the chat on Ultimate Spider-Man, and I have actually never read anything to do with Craven. I know that Craven's Last Hunt is a huge thing, and it's maybe wrong for me to say I love Spider-Man and not know anything about that, but we've got 2, definitely 2, maybe 3 issues that are about Craven. So if I'm gonna take a gander off of these covers, I'm gonna say these 2 that have Craven on them, these seem like they're gonna pull me out of the story. I'm gonna be obsessed with like whatever fight kind of situation is happening, or I'm meant to be obsessed with that, and I'm going to just like miss the things that I'm reading this series for. So I actually don't have high hopes for my enjoyment of the Craven situation, but looking at the covers of 15 and 16, I think these are going to be my jam. And then I'm caught up, so let's get reading. This one, number 13, better be worth it, because this was the one, this was where we were at in the point in the timeline where I decided to switch over to single issues because 1 through 12 are in the trade paperbacks. And it had just gone out of print and my local shop didn't have any left. So I had to wait for this bad boy to arrive in the mail. And the whole reason I'm doing this is to support my local comic book shop. So it felt a little silly. But this one has traveled. It has made it here and it is going to introduce me to Craven. So he's evil, super evil. I don't know how to not spoil Ultimate Spider-Man, but Craven's entry feels so much like the book Tender is the Flesh that it just like gave me chills. I was just, I was wrong. I do indeed want to see how they get out of this one. I would rather read that and picture that than The Family Back Home, but they do a good job of keeping you updated as to like what's happening in a way that makes you want to go back to like New York City. We're just gonna put that one up here for now and we're gonna go into the second one. Ultimate Spider-Man issue 14. These recaps in the front of these are spot on. Like they are very, very nice for the pickle I imagine you would be in if you were waiting like a month every single time. And it was much needed after like the gap between 12 and 13 for me, because 12 ends at such a bomb drop that, and that's what you miss in Ultimate Spider-Man, top notch. This is such a good example of what these two issues are so far, of being in two worlds at once. You've got the family back in New York City, and then you've got Peter and Craven. Okay, I get it now. I get it. I started this saying I didn't suspect I was going to enjoy them as much as I have been enjoying this series so far. And I was so incredibly wrong. And I love to be wrong about that. Yeah, no, this series is really, really, really good. And I get why I'm where I am now, because this is what made me start pulling stuff. And we're here and we're in it. 14 really might be my favorite issue so far. This is toying with what it's like and the construct that we're stuck in of being a superhero and trying to keep your identity secret, safe from your night job. And then also the trap that you're constantly stuck in if you're Spider-Man and you are very hesitant to kill. And that's kind of funny to me because it is what keeps this whole thing going. And that's why we're on issue 967 or whatever of Amazing Spider-Man. I need to take a little bit of a break because I don't actually want to blow through the last two that I have here. So, yeah. On to the last one. Truly, something about the Mysterio green and pink is gorgeous on this one. I am just constantly, when I finish an issue of Ultimate Spider-Man, wondering what it would be like to be reading any of the other series that are currently going in the Ultimate Universe, or even just like the main Ultimates title. With Ultimate Spider-Man, I found myself turning page after page because I want to know what gets said next. With the seasons, I'm turning page after page because the art is just pulling me through the book. And while I'm reading Spider-Man, I'm constantly trying to slow myself down and really look at the art. And when I'm reading the seasons, I'm trying to slow myself down and really pay attention to what's being said. And so it's really odd to have like both of those problems and art and story just kind of like in this weird together balancing act. And I'm trying to get better at that. It is maybe a little bit easier to do if you're reading issue by issue, and therefore another win for reading issues instead of trade paperbacks, because I have always read trade paperbacks, and I was really hesitant to get into issues because I just thought it would be a ton to keep up with. And it is, because it's a slippery slope, but I think I'm at a really manageable state right now. And I am excited to start Bug Wars. This one is a double. She's thick. I had to take a break in the middle of 2 to eat dinner, go to the gym, get in my pajamas, which means now I'm truly free to thoroughly enjoy Bug Wars. That's my evening. I have no other responsibilities, nothing else to do. We're gonna finish number 2. Look how large this is. The scale of these scenes is really impressive, and I'm really enjoying that. It's cool. It's cool. It's not like anything else that I'm currently reading. On to number 3, which definitely has my favorite cover so far. I think the ending of 2 makes me so glad that I have 3 in my hands and I don't have to wait a month. Let's see if I think the same thing when I finish 3 and I have to wait a month for 4. Tiny bug people in the backyard want to murder Slade Slaymaker's brother because he mows the grass. But Slade has more pressing concerns at the moment, trapped inside the mosquito-infested bloodhole arena of the barbarian beetle clans with a magic amulet that's on the fritz. The lettering in these, I really, really love it. From these intro pages to journal entries in the back to the dialogue and then this like narrator situation. It is so good. So good. Okay. Yes, I was correct. I love this. I think there's something so cool about such a large but physically small world. I don't even know where the amount of lore that is behind this story even begins to start in somebody's brain. I think it is so cool that it is so scientific and also so witty at the same time. I think there's truly something to enjoy for everybody in here. The way that the world here is telling time is in molts instead of like days or years, or seasons. I think there's just a lot of stuff like that at play that is so interesting, and you can just tell that the writers are having a blast with like a topic that they know a lot about and love. And then you've got these journal entries in the back of each issue where you get to learn more about the type of bugs that you met in that issue or maybe will meet in the future. And then also like tidbits about the world, complete with like sketches of what these like creatures and stuff look like. It is just truly such a large world, but it's shrunk down, and that makes it so digestible. This is another book where like I think I could give this to a friend and they would be like, oh, I'm hooked. I've never picked up a comic book before, but I'm hooked. Something that I didn't know about these is they are definitely mature. Like there is language and imagery that following a kid main character I just didn't really think we'd have. You can tell that it is made for adults to consume at whatever pace you would like to, whether that is really digging into the scientific facts of the bugs or the lore of the world, or just following the story because you think a bug is cool, you think the main character is cool, or you think the setting is awesome, which I think the thing that's taking the cake for me right now is the setting. I just cannot say it enough. I love that you have a comic book with a map. Are you kidding me? You have a map of the house and the backyard where all of this is taking place and all the territories that are like yet to be explored. I really hope this goes for more than 6 issues. I was noticing in the back of each one they say book 1, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So like maybe we just have 6 issues slated for what will be 1 trade paperback, and then we'll get like another 6 and another 6, and maybe it could just keep going. Keep going. I do get the sense from reading the author's notes that they just truly didn't know if this was going to be a hit or not, and it has been a home run. I've heard nothing but great things about it, and it sounds like them too. So I think that's a good sign, and I'm really optimistic that this isn't halfway over, that we'll just get to keep going. So that was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 comic books read in this vlog. No spoilers. I really encourage you to check out Bug Wars. I encourage you to check out the seasons, and if you're a Spider-Man fan, take my word for it, it's not too late to pick up Ultimates. You can still track everything down. Yeah, that was it. And I guess I will see you when I pick up my next stack from the local comic shop.